So I'm still using the Galaxy S8 as my daily driver device. I've been going back and forth on which case to use on this one, and VRS Design reached out and said, we've got a bunch of new cases for the S8 and the S8 Plus, and they were kind enough to ship over a box filled with them for me. So I thought I'd take a look at them for you guys. All these cases range from about 30 to 40 bucks on their website, and I'll put links to all of them down below. If I can find them on Amazon, I'll link to them over there also. But just to go ahead and throw it out there, they did send these cases for free. I didn't pay anything, but they're also not paying me to make this video, and they're not going to be seeing it ahead of time or anything. This is just my thoughts and impressions of them. So starting things off, we've got the High Pro Shield for the S8, specifically in the blue coral color. They make a bunch of different colors of this, and they make this case for pretty much every device. So I know ahead of time this is one of my favorites, but they've changed their packaging up. I'm not sure how to open it. There we go. So there is the case. It's got the blue coral around the outside, and as you can see, it's got sort of a black striped textured finish over the rest of it. I like the way that texture feels. Now, unlike a lot of the previous High Pro Shield cases, this does not have the kickstand on it. I don't think any of these have a kickstand on them. Interesting, but I do tend to put the ring on the back of phones. I haven't done that on any of the cases with this yet because of the Qi charging, so kind of a bummer to not see kickstands on any of these. But let's try it out, see how it fits and how it feels and everything. As per usual, super easy to install. You've still got the opening for the microphone on the top. All the openings on the bottom are exposed. All the openings on the back that need to be open are exposed. Volume rocker still works appropriately. Bixby button, power button, all good so far. And this is a two-part case, so this outside rim does come off, but you've got a very nice solid feeling back. Like I said, longtime fan of the High Pro Shield cases. Next up, we have the crystal bumper case in Orchid Gray. Now this one might be a good one for me because, as I've mentioned, I do have the Galaxy S8 in Orchid Gray, so this hopefully will match. So there is the case. Again, I'm not a huge fan of crystal cases or clear cases because they do tend to get dust and dirt trapped in them, and then you can just see it on the back of your device. But this one does have a nice little texture to it. See how it looks and feels on the device. Actually feels pretty similar to the High Pro Shield case, except it doesn't have a textured back. It's just got, I hate to say it, but what feels kind of like rubber on the back. In terms of the color, it does match decently well. It's a lot more matte, a lot more muted than the glossy back, but it's not a bad compliment at all. Now, if you want to step up your protection, get something that's ultra strong, this is the Terra Guard. And they actually sent me two of these, one in red and one in green. And for that green one, instead of having silicone on the back, you've got it on the sides here. And while this kind of feels like it should come apart, I don't think it actually does. So let's just slide the phone in and see how it fits. Super easy to install. Every case I've put on the S8 so far has been really easy to put on. This one, however, because it does have silicone around the sides, it does tend to warp a little bit back. The back is definitely a lot slicker than the other ones that we've tried so far. All the buttons do still appear to be working just fine. The openings on the bottom look all right, although they are a little bit more recessed than the other ones we've looked at so far. Openings on top and on the back are all fine. The one thing I will say about this though, it has all of that military grade drop protection. It looks like it's gonna be very solid, but at the same time, it kind of looks like it's warped here in the middle. Let me check the red one and see if it's that way. Yeah, the red one's not like that, so maybe I just got a bad sample with the green one. And with the red one, it does peel back just a little bit, but nowhere near as far as easily as the other one did. So again, presumably I just got a bad copy of the olive one. Maybe the glue didn't stick properly or something here. The red one feels nice though. And there's a little bit of a texture in these grooves that's kind of nice. Not a bad case. Now I saved these two down here for last because they're a little different than what I've tried before. These are the Damda cases, Damda Glide and Damda Folder. And these are basically wallet cases. So they provide a decent amount of protection, but they also give you a place to store cards and money and whatever else you need to take with you. So you may not need to take a wallet. So for the Damda Glide, it doesn't actually mention what color it is. I think this is Orchid Gray, and then this is probably Coral Blue in the Damda Folder. So let's just see how it fits and how it feels. Install pretty easily. That's new and interesting and different. So anyway, the buttons all still work. Openings are all still open. It does provide the appropriate coverage. This section feels a little bit loose here around the sides. If you're putting pressure on it like this, it is going to go back a little bit. I think that's going to be the case with most cases that have any sort of silicone element to them around this area, is that it's so thin around the outside that it's going to go back. But then the one key feature about this, the one thing that makes it different and unique, is card store. That one's supposed to happen. Well, that's embarrassing. I managed to break this case as soon as I touched it. It says Glide very clearly on it, and I grabbed and pulled up. This is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to do this on a spring and then spring back, but because I pulled up on it, it came out and the pins went flying. So this is how it's assembled, and if I took an hour, I could probably put it back together, but I don't have the equipment right now. So it's kind of a neat design, but at the same time, just don't pull up on it. The last one, of course, is the folder, which hopefully I don't tear this one apart. I didn't break it. Now we go ahead and put it in place, and you can see it makes the phone significantly thicker. And realistically speaking, for that type of thickness, you're normally looking at something that has a battery in it, so I don't know if I would necessarily carry that, but the buttons do all still work. They're all very clicky. You do have your openings on the top and all across the bottom. A little bit of silicone around the outside there, and it's not actually moving quite as much as the other ones. But then the key feature there on the back here, this does fold down and you can slide some cards up inside of there. And it also kind of feels like a communicator from Star Trek where you flip it down and Kirk to Enterprise. Anyway, this is just sort of a first look at some of the case offerings from VRS Design. After trying all of these out here, I probably will end up going with the Terra Guard myself or the High Pro Shield for the most part. Like I said, I always love the High Pro Shield cases, but this Terra Guard's not half bad either. Gotta love that Marquez Brownlee red and black look. So I guess let me know what you think about them down in the comment section below, and if you're interested in checking any of these out or picking them up for yourself, I'll put links down in the description to where you can find them. But thanks so much to VRS Design for sending these out for me to take a look at. Sorry for damaging them on camera. It happens. Thanks to you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the thumbs up if you liked it, hit the thumbs down if you didn't like it, and if you didn't, please tell me what I did wrong or what was wrong in general. Subscribe to the channel to get notified whenever I put out new videos, and I'll see you again next time.